Well, hello and welcome back to Through the Word. And today we're going to be pausing to pray. And we're going to be looking at a bit of a different topic, a bit of a different theme today. We're going to be focusing in on Halloween. Now, Halloween's, a week and a half away. And actually, it's a time that's culturally quite significant. It's a time where families often go and celebrate. They go trick-or-treating. There's often Halloween stuff that goes on in schools, and it's a time that actually seemingly the community comes together around. And on the face of it, it can seem harmless. It can seem like there's nothing really to it. It's just kids having a lot of fun. Whereas the reality is, behind that, behind all of the dressing up and everything else that goes on, and the pumpkins and everything that goes on, actually there's a real spiritual significance to what is going on. It's a celebration of witches and ghouls and death. It's a celebration of darkness. And actually there's a real spiritual significance to that. There is a spiritual reality linked to all of those things that opposes that of the kingdom. And I know that growing up, my reaction to Halloween and my family's reaction to Halloween was actually often to just stay well clear. I grew up in a Christian family, and we would have acknowledged some of the realities that are behind Halloween and would have quite simply gone, well, we just want nothing to do with it. And that was probably the case for me up until just a few years ago. But I was really challenged that actually maybe my response wasn't the best. Maybe just completely ignoring going on wasn't the best that God had for me. Ephesians 5 verses 11 to 13 say this: "Have nothing to do with the fruitless deeds of darkness, but expose them. It is shameful even to mention that what the disobedient do in secret, but everything exposed by the light becomes visible, and everything that is illuminated becomes a light." John 1 verse 4 and 5 say this: "In him," that's Jesus, "in him was life, and that life was the light of all mankind. The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it." And I started to think, well, actually, what does it look like to redeem that season? Rather than hiding away and hoping that no trick-or-treaters come to the door and completely ignoring it, actually, what does redeeming it look like? Not just ignoring it in both directions, not ignoring it and pretending it doesn't happen, not ignoring the spiritual realities of what's going and diving in without my eyes open to what's really going on. But what does it look like to do something that starts to redeem the season, that starts to shine light into that really dark place? Because the reality is that Jesus overcomes everything and has overcome everything that Halloween can represent. And so for us, what that looks like was we started to plan for Halloween. We started to choose to be generous. We made up parcels for when people came around and trick-or-treated with some sweets in, but also that had some stuff that told them about who they were in God, some identity truths about them, that they were special, that they were made in God's image, that God loved them. We tried to take opportunities to pray with families that come and offer to pray with them. We didn't always manage it. But actually, those years that we have done that, we have been able to, in a small way, shine some light into a season that is dark. So as we come to pray for this season, as we come to pray for Halloween, I want us to pray for three things. First of all, I want to thank God. Thank God that the light of Jesus overcomes any darkness. That actually we don't have to be fearful of Halloween. We don't have to be fearful of the things that it represents, because Jesus has overcome. In Jesus, he has defeated everything that Halloween represents. He's defeated the enemy, he's defeated sin, he's defeated death, he's defeated fear, he's defeated the darkness. And that is something that we should celebrate and be thankful for. And it's a season where we can choose to do that even more so. We can pray that this Halloween that people will encounter Jesus, that people will encounter the light as they look to celebrate and have fun with their communities and have fun and maybe not really be aware of what's really going on behind it. We can be praying that people will encounter Jesus rather than being drawn into the darkness, that they will encounter the light, that God will break into those situations. But finally, I want you to ask Jesus, what could you do? What could you do to look to redeem Halloween? What could you do so that in a couple of weeks' time, on the 31st of October, what is it that you could be doing that can redeem Halloween, that can start to actively bring the light of Jesus and the kingdom of God to the people that are going to knock on your door, the people that you are going to encounter on that night and in that season, and see what he's got for you and be obedient to him. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for praying, and we'll see you again on Walk the Word soon.